So I think on average, new Amazon sellers spend $2,000 to $5,000 to launch a new product, and a lot of them are gonna kiss that money goodbye. Sadly, not funny. Yeah, a lot of them are gonna kiss that money goodbye, and it's expensive to start. And a lot of the times you can't keep up with competition, and by the time your product gets in, the competitors are there, and you're factoring in ad cost, you might be left with nothing. I have a solution to that. Do this instead. Do this before you go and spend that money. So in theory, to launch a simple product like this, a shaker bottle, it's $10, $15, $20 on the high end. Obviously they're differentiated. They all have kind of their unique spin, and they all have kind of the unique pitch on why you should buy theirs. New sellers might come in and go, hey, you know what? Blender Bottle's making, $500,000 per month just selling this one SKU. If I could just have 1% of that, I'd have 5,000. Like, that mentality doesn't work, unfortunately. So many people do fall prey to that kind of thinking, and there's like this eternal optimism within entrepreneurship where, hey, you just gotta grind it out, you just gotta work, you just get something out there. I honestly am not a big fan of hearing just get something out there. I think if you're going to do it right, and this is certainly not the right way to do it. What you're probably going to do is you're going to order 500 to 1,000 of these. You're going to send them into Amazon after having paid several $1,000s, and you might get a couple sales, and you're not going to be able to get reviews. You're not going to be able to get ranked. You're going to have a really hard time selling something like this. Now, this is obviously an extreme example, right? There's a lot of products that would be better suited to just quickly private labeling and selling, and yes, you can still sell some of those successfully. However, just for the sake of this video, hang in there with me for a second and just let me over exaggerate. This is the old way. Don't do this. I don't recommend selling really competitive products and just hoping that you can sell for a little bit less, or hopefully you can make a small change to it and sell it a little bit better. I would instead do the free option first. And really quickly, guys, if you could just do me a favor and gently tap the like button down below, it helps get this video out to more people, really helps the YouTube algorithm, and it helps my channel grow. So I appreciate that so much. Let's get back to it. So this is what we're talking about when we say things like build audiences, don't build products. You need to know that there's people on the other end of what you're doing, waiting to hear from you, hoping that you're going to release more products, knowing who you are, etc. And you can do that for completely free. We can see that Calisthenics has 11 million posts in it, and people are consistently posting here every single day. Thousands of posts per month are going up here, and there's a whole community of people that want to work out using only their body weight. So let's go ahead and let's do just calisthenics here, and let's do, okay, look, learn calisthenics. So this page has 3,400 followers. They, on average, are getting about 100 people to interact with their post, and some of their better posts are getting about double or triple that amount. So for only having 3,000 posts, see their reels. So their reels have, on average, 2,000 to, we'll say 5,000 with the occasional 10,000 view post. If you were to just commit to 3 posts per week in the area where your audience is interested, you can have 115 posts in under a year. So it's not going to take an incredibly long time to do this, and it's going to be completely free. Growing your audience first, then you're coming back to Amazon, listing it there, and seeing a successful launch from day one. Amazon rewards you with all of that external traffic that you brought in. They start positioning you higher on that page, and it's a win-win for everybody. So something too to remember is that you should be including your customers in the journey of building your product and asking them along the way how you can improve it, what you should be working on, and how you should be approaching that product development. So don't wait until it's too late to show them the product and they don't like it or they don't like something about it. You can actively get that feedback before you ever go to the market. So if we come back to the computer here and we were to look at one of these as an example, say we went to this page right here. I like this because this is a niche within a niche, right? They got very specific about what they're doing and who it's for. It's Colorado Women on the Fly. Okay, so creating space for women in the outdoors, female fly fishing guides, ladies classes and retreats, etc. So now any woman worldwide, or specifically probably in the US, that sees this page now has a place where they feel like they belong, and they are tying into that story, right? So they would tag this page if they went out and caught their first trout on a fly rod. They would comment on this page and show support for what they're doing. Beautiful women, keep on fishing. Exactly, right? And now I'm sure if they were, it seems like they're releasing classes and they have guides and events, so they're already doing this probably perfectly. If they were to go along and create, a pink set of waders or a pink fly rod case or something along those lines, I'm sure they would sell hundreds, if not thousands of units of that product because they went audience first and then product later. It's not easy, so I wanted to give you a potential content strategy that you can use to start doing this yourself and see if you're in the right market. Now, the first thing that I would say is you're going to want to go and get a good idea of your market size. So this is from a really cool book called Choose by Ryan Levesque. In this book, he goes into details about how to choose the perfect audience and what the perfect size for an audience looks like to grow a 7-figure brand within that space. And he lays out this template that you can use. Now, you can go to Google Trends and type in these 4 things under compare, right? So you can add a search item and compare them all to each other. What that ends up giving you is a reference for how big your market should be. So it should be somewhere within these 4. Right, so this kind of serves as your top line up here, and then obviously your bottom support line down there. So when you plug something in here, like if we were to do fly fishing, that will probably be quite a bit larger just for comparison of market size. So it's way too big, right? So you'd have to niche down, right? So when I said I was excited that they kind of niched down within a niche, they went women's fly fishing. Keep in mind, the way you word it is everything. So don't just think that because fly fishing for women didn't work, that women's fly fishing wouldn't work, etc. But the point is, when you type in a market here, you want it to show up somewhere within this range. Now, he did a few studies in which almost every failure that came out of his students not being able to build a high quality brand in a space came from there either being way too much competition or not enough to sustain them. And then all of the successful ones had in common were within this range. So just a quick little trick that you can use. I don't want to spend too much time on. Next, as for the content strategy that I said, I personally think that, the more content you can post, the better. So if you can hold up to a post every single day, that's going to be somewhat of value, showing a cool experience or a cool photo within the space that you're interested in joining. Obviously, that's going to be great. Lastly, one specific thing that you can do is use Reels, as they're going to have a lot further organic reach. You can actually see that this has reached 105,000 people and got 3,000 likes just for this simple 10-second clip of someone doing a little back and forth fly casting single-handed. So that just shows the point I'm trying to prove extremely well, right? Like, you can get an incredible amount of reach here, 9,000 likes, 300,000 views. Do you imagine the impact that could have on your brand if you were to have a, physical product within your store built in? Your bio leads to a website where there's a physical product that you're selling. That could be absolutely huge. So try and stick to a once a day, if not 3 times a week content strategy for Instagram. And then also, if you're writing, if you have a website, try and stick to about 1 blog article every single week and just don't miss. Now, don't get discouraged in the beginning. You will never reach 300,000 views on your first post. I mean, I guess you could, but it'd be nearly impossible. You're going to start slow, right? It might be 50, it might be 10, you might have 1 follower for a week, you might have, only 30 followers for the next 3 weeks. Keep at it, right? The key here is consistency, building that audience, building that connection with that customer. The product will unveil itself. You should know the product beforehand. But however, that's where we're going to wrap up here for today. If you're interested in learning more about branding and more of the aspects that you should be using to do this way instead of going the classic way of just private labeling, be sure to comment down below and let me know that you're interested in more videos. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you here on the channel for another video next time. Thanks so much. Later.